It is I, the large gentleman who plays music too loud. What's up, guys? Sorry I'm so late today, but I almost canceled the show just because I have so much going on. But I thought I'd do just a little truncated version and to laugh at Pete Buttigieg and other things. Anyway, we'll and my man Papa Hotep got his YouTube channel yeeted. I'm bummed about that. I'm kind of mad. I'm curious what he did. But anyway, he probably talks about things you're not supposed to talk about on YouTube, and they yeeted him. So anyway, we'll get as much as we can in, and we'll go from there. Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny, play that damn intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
Yes, a truncated version of the Morning Night Live on this fine Monday. The day before tax day. I forgot. They gave you till Tuesday this year. I don't know why. You know, why did that that just made me think of that. What's that song? Oh, shush. Keep it down now. Voices carry. Remember that song? Wasn't that band called Till Tuesday or something like that? Anyway, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel, where we sometimes are really, really late due to just things that got in the way. So I apologize for my lateness. We'll do a quick show, do a regular shows the rest of the week. I do have a video that's going to pop up probably around noon. I'm starting to do some of those like short version videos, and it's pretty wild. One of mine, the one on the Bud Light, which all I did was react to this guy doing a little funny Bud Light thing, and it has over like 15,000 views, which is the most views I've ever had on anything. I mean, that's by far blows away anything else I've ever put on the internet. So, who knows? And I've gotten like a few new subscribers. So I'm putting more of those out because apparently they're popular, and so there. Anyway, but I'll still do my live streams, and I do got my cup of reparations coffee this week when we went to. So my wife and my mother-in-law were having lunch on Monday, right? And they were talking to the server about, how me and my wife like to go on these little, what we call daycations, right? Little, one-day trips where we go somewhere and see something cool or whatever. And she's like, oh, yeah, this other guy who works here, does that kind of stuff too. And so also my wife mentioned waterfalls because we're really into waterfalls. That's one of our favorite things to go find. And so this waiter comes over and she tells my wife about this place in a town called Harmony, Minnesota. It's right near the Iowa-Minnesota border, like south of Rochester, right? And it's about an hour and 45 minutes away from where we live. And said that there's this place called Niagara Caves, and it's a cave that someone found, and they went spelunking or whatever there, and they found a waterfall inside the cave. So we went down there, and it was like, oh, it was really cool. It was really worth the drive. We went down there Saturday and checked it out, and they have tours of the cave, and they take you to the waterfall first, and then they take you winding back in these caves. And there's some places in the cave where, if you have a low voice like mine, and you just it echoes all the way through the cave. It's really, really cool. Anyway, so I've never gone caving or whatever you call it, spelunking. I guess there's two terms for it. And it was really cool. And it was a great, just get your mind off all the crap that's happening in the world. And, and it's a great thing to do. So look, I know a lot of people don't have time to travel or a lot of money to travel, which is that we resemble that remark, right? We've been fortunate enough to have a couple big trips here and there, but we don't have money or time to travel. So we like to spend just a day, one day or maybe both days of the weekend going somewhere that's not going to cost more than a tank of gas and where we can see cool stuff. And we find stuff in all these little towns, and that was really cool. And then Harmony, the town, which is about a few miles away from the caves, had this really nice restaurant called Isabel's. And, it was really weird because this town's about 1,000, maybe 1,500 people in the entire town. And it had 3 restaurants and they were all packed. So I guess it's kind of a touristy area because there's a lot of Amish people live down there. So there's a lot of people come down there to go shopping and stuff. And the restaurant Isabel's was just fantastic. I mean, we had these, I had a rice bowl with this, like, they call it pork nuggets and teriyaki. Oh my gosh, it was so damn good. I was like, man, cool stuff in a small town. So anyway, whoever needs to ruin their day should look up cave diving disasters. Start with Mossdale Black. No, ain't doing it. I'm not going to do it. Anyway, so, and then then we were going to go to these other caves, but they're closed because they have these one caves down there. It's about 20 miles away from the one we went to, that's in a state park that have these underground lakes you can take pictures of. So that's the one we're going to do in May, the end of May, because they don't really open until May. But anyway, all right, let's say hi, get this thing started. I don't have a whole lot to talk about today, but we'll talk about what I have. First in chat over on Rumble, Avocados Diablo gets the bell. Good morning, sir. Also, Chicago Mike and Furry Kitten hanging out on Rumble, among a few other people. I'm not sure who they are because they're not in the chat. And on YouTube, first in the chat, Dunker fucking Steins Ghost. That'd be Ty Alexander. Hello, sir. And my friend Trippy Liberty's in the house. James Colley, Avocados Diablo, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
My friend Now What? My friend from high school. More power to the dogs. Good morning, my friend. Also, good morning, Cool Frog and Chicago Mike. CNN Sucks, the most redundant name on the internet. Also, Lord Stanhope, The Chosen One, Rotten Corpse, and Rachel Madhouse Dildo, who thinks it deserves a bell. I guess the proper pronoun for a dildo would be it, right? Well, maybe even he. I don't know. I don't know dildo etiquette, so maybe you can help me out with that, Rachel Madhouse Dildo. Also, hello to Hig from the home base in Florida. Although, are you still in Alabama right now? I'm just curious. You were up in Alabama last time I talked to you. And also, I said Lord Stanhope, fake news expert, those ain't real, dude. Reaction Puerto Rico is in the house. Donkey Punch Bandit. Attack Alpaca, Gulf City, DCC, 182, aka Blink. By the way, Blink 182 was added to the Coachella lineup this year. I think they're getting back together. So I guess that's I don't know what the hell that's all about. And let's see, who else is here? Is that everybody? Green Badger Outdoor. Dang, the gang's all here. Green Badger Outdoors, Rusty Shack, Maddie's in the house. We got a full lineup this morning. I should start at 10 o'clock every week if I didn't have other gigs in the afternoon. Anyway, I'm so glad to see you all here. Oh, you're in Tennessee right now. Isn't that the transphobe state? Is that? No, I shouldn't say that. That's what isn't that? Never mind. Did the guy ever get tired of hunting aliens or just run out of cash doing so? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Some dude was trying to hunt aliens? They were out of everything but like, oh, you know what else I had? I had what was the beer I had down there? This is also there's a little distillery in what was the town? Fuck, I already forgot the name of the town. I'm blanking on the name of the town we went to. It's Harmony, Minnesota. They had a little distillery there. So the place, Isabel's, the place we went to, had all their liquor was from the local distillery. And I didn't try a cocktail because I had some kind of a pistachio ale or whatever. And from, I can't remember the name of the company, but it was actually pretty good. Anyway, yeah, Tom is back. Yeah, the drummer, Tom. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, Blink 182 is getting back together for Coachella. I think it was Coachella that they announced. Saw that over the weekend. Anyway, let's get into some of the stuff that I want to talk about. Now, I don't have them. I'm not really prepared because I'm not. But here, I'll get this little Pete Buttigieg clip that what the hell happened there? That's not what I wanted to do. Gosh darn it. Okay, let me try this again. I'm gonna get the Pete Buttigieg clip. but Gieg. Because I learned over the weekend, and several people put this clip out there, that apparently roads are racist. Yeah, Pete Buttigieg was on MSNBC on the Al Sharpton show, and he said this, and wait a minute, what the hell? Okay, see, the problem getting home late is I don't have everything set up properly. Okay, let's try it one more time, Marty. Let's see if we get this right, Marty. Yeah, let's figure it out. Okay, here we go. On MSNBC, Mr. Pete Buttigieg said this, talking to Al Sharpton about the problem with roads and cars and car crashes. And this apparently is another crisis. We have another crisis. See, and I said it like that on purpose. Crisis. Because whenever you have a crisis, you have to do something about a crisis. And if I say crisis, it'll annoy you enough to make you want to do something about a crisis. So there you go. Pete Buttigieg right here says this.
We've got a crisis.
Crisis! It's a crisis. Now wait, before I even let this continue, Boston Marathon Monday, is that today? We have today off because people was running 26.2 miles through our neighborhoods. Oh, yeah, no, okay, I didn't know it was today. See? All right, anyway, we have a crisis. Pete Buttigieg says we have a crisis. Let's see what this crisis is. Now, wait a minute. Let's do this.
When it comes to roadway fatalities in America.
Whoa. A crisis when it comes to roadway fatalities in America. It's a crisis. I thought the roads have been getting safer and safer, but he says it's a crisis. Now, I know for a fact, I don't even have to look this up. I already know that roads, like fatalities, auto crashes, things like that, have been dropping for quite a long time. I mean, safety in cars and whatever, since the advent of cars, crisis, I don't know how it could be a crisis. But let's see what Pete Buttigieg says about this. Here we go.
We lose about 40,000 people every year.
40,000
It's a level
year.
that's comparable to gun violence.
Oh, no, he didn't just say that. It's a level comparable to gun violence. Now, I hate to bring this to Pete Buttigieg. So if there are 40,000 fatalities each year, that would far exceed gun violence, because gun violence. Well, first of all, guns don't kill people; people kill people. But there are roughly averaged over the last 50 years between 10,000 and 15,000 murders every year. Right? And not all of those murders have anything to do with guns. Now, if you add in self-endings, yes, you probably have a lot more, right? But that's just a weird comparison, because most of the self-endings are self-induced violence. And then there's roughly between 10, it averages, swings between 10 and 15,000 homicides every year, right? So there's 40,000 vehicle endings, and he's comparing it to gun violence. That's fascinating. Let's go back.
It's a level that's comparable to gun violence. And we see a lot of racial disparity.
What? Wait. There's a lot of racial disparities in this, too. I'm sorry. I cut it off before he said the whole sentence. I'll go back just a little bit.
Violence. And we see a lot of racial disparities. Black and brown Americans, tribal citizens, and rural residents.
Hold up. Hey, How did you get those rural people in there in the racial thing? What? Sorry, I keep going back, but I gotta ask you about this.
Racial disparities.
Racial disparities, okay? Racial disparities. Black, he says.
And brown. American, tribal citizens.
Wait. Also, you notice what else he did there? He said black, brown, Americans, tribal citizens, and
rural residents.
Did you hear it? Okay, and again, here we go.
Disparities. Black and brown Americans, tribal citizens, and
he put black, brown Americans, tribal citizens, and rural residents. I guess the only people. No, he said Americans, though. He also had Americans as a race. Black, brown, Americans. Because he didn't say black and brown Americans. He said black, brown, Americans. Listen to
disparities. Black and brown Americans, tribal citizens.
Oh, maybe he meant black and brown Americans. But he paused there, so it sounded like he's saying black and brown Americans, tribal citizens, and rural citizens. All under the category of race. So roads are racist, basically. Roads and highways, whatever, are racist. Hello, Simon Wolfwood. What's up?
Citizens and rural residents much more likely to lose their lives, whether it's in a car or as a pedestrian being hit.
Okay. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Let me just take a sip here. So, black and brown Americans, tribal citizens, rural are much more likely to end, whether in the car or as a pedestrian. So, is there a reason? Why would there be more if you're lower? So, okay, I'm trying to understand this. Black and brown. Good morning to my favorite Canadian Jaeger pony, by the way. Cheers to you, sir.
Likely to lose their lives, whether it's in a car or as a pedestrian.
More likely to lose their lives, whether they're in a car or a pedestrian. Why? Look, if you're a pedestrian and you get hit by a car, do white people survive that more often than black people or rural people or what do you say? Native something? No, but he didn't say Native Americans, tribals, Americans, and brown peoples. What? Or is okay? Hang on.
Being hit by a car. There are a lot of reasons related to discrimination. Related
to discrimination. So the bumper of my truck, when it plows into your car, if you're a brother, my truck is racist and more likely and discriminating against you is more likely to kill you because you're brown, black, tribal. Oh Lord, I'm scared to go in my car now.
To even the ways that roads are designed and built, who has access to a
So it's by design. The roads are designed to kill me and Brother Al here. Wait, what's going on with Al Sharp? Is that just a glitch? Or is Al Sharpton got a little? What's going on? What's going on with Brother Al here? Here, I'm just clicking to get that spot where Al. Oh, he has a little wisp of brown hair on his chin like me. Anyway, let's read it. I'm sorry. I got to hear this again.
pedestrian being hit by a car. There are a lot of reasons related to discrimination,
Discrimination. Are people mowing down black people? Are these motherfuckers just mowing people down? Help me understand. Hello, Swirly. I see you. I don't understand.
To even the ways that roads are designed and built. Who has access to a safe street design that's got...
Who has access to a safe street design? Look. Now, look, I might understand while possibly there are accidents in rural areas due to the fact that there may not be as many sidewalks when you're walking down a 2-lane road or highway in a rural area. Because I've been driving a lot of 2-lane highways. We go on our little day trips because we usually when we do the day trips, we like to drive rural highways because they're more scenic. Sometimes you might see a cool bridge or river or something rather than just driving on the freeway, right? So we'll purposely, when we're taking our day trips, go on just rural highways, rural roads. And they're nice to see, but there's no sidewalks. And so sometimes you see somebody running down the road like they're jogging or something. It's kind of rare, but you see them once in a while. And if I don't see that jogger, they're not on a sidewalk. My racist car, the headlights have some sensors in them, right? And they're looking to see if it's a black, brown, tribal, or rural person. And since rural persons seem to be a race, according to Pete Buttigieg, my car pulls me towards them every single time. And I'm like, no, car, don't do that. Don't be racist, car. And I usually, my steering capabilities steer the car away from the rural person running down the road. Is that what he means by design, though, that some of the rural roads don't have sidewalks? And he started to say something about lighting and this and that. I'm sorry, most cities have lighting. And if a lot of black people live in urban areas. They have sidewalks and lights and street lights and whatnot. But he's trying to say that, well, the design could be racist too. I don't understand.
Design that's got crosswalks and good lighting.
That doesn't have crosswalks and good lighting. Maybe in the neighborhood, but on the roads where people are driving the most, they got crosswalks. I live in, is it different in Minneapolis? In fact, they have crosswalks. I go to Minneapolis, St. Paul every once in a while. There's crosswalks everywhere because when the streets intersect like this, there's always the crosswalk here and here and here and here. I don't.
Who doesn't have that access? That can drive disparities, and we have a responsibility to act on that. We've got a
now. All right,
crisis
shut up,
when
Pete.
it comes
Shut
to
up,
roadway
Pete.
fatalities.
Pete, please, stop, sir. So, I'm not sure. Now, I've seen. First of all, if he really was trying to make this make sense, which he didn't really try too hard, I could see where he might say things like, people of lower economic status are more likely to have older cars that may not have all the safety features of other cars. Okay, so that's based on economic status, not based on race. But, of course, there's some slightly higher percentage of black people who are of lower economic status than white people, although by far there's more white people of lower economic status. But if you think about it, I could see maybe that being the a reason if there are racial disparities in car crashes. Also, though, it might be people who maybe there's a segment of society in lower economic status who are less likely to wear their seatbelts. Maybe that's a reason, because people, I know my kids I wouldn't move the car until they got their seatbelts on, but some places, they would. There are people who may not be so keen to do that. But I can't. I think it's just because the only reason he's saying this is because of who he's talking to. Had to come up with some real stuff, right? And, so and what's funny is that people are talking about this on Twitter. I I had to laugh because Charlie Kirk also posted this. And he says, Pete Buttigieg tells Al Sharpton that minorities are more likely to die in car crashes because of the way roads are designed and built, which he said there. Hello, Papa Hotep, what's up? Killing me that they took out your YouTube channel. I hate YouTube. I really do. But they're just a pain in my butt. And they're paying somebody, but and I bet you, I'm gonna guess right now, they did not tell you the specific reason. They just said you've violated their community guidelines or something, right? But they never ever tell you what exactly the specific thing is that they are upset about. They don't give you a timestamp. They don't give you a chance at all. And unless you can figure it out on your own, like sometimes I have been able to figure out exactly what they did, and I've disputed and going, hey, you idiots, this is not a violation of community guidelines. And I've been fortunate enough to sometimes be able to get them taken down, but not always. Or if it's an old one, they'll do that too. If you have something from a year ago and they change the rules and you give you a strike, I fought that once and they're like, okay, cool, right? Anyway, so Charlie Kirk here, I digress. Charlie Kirk says, racist roads is what we get from our transportation secretary, but in fairness, Buttigieg is a Rhodes Scholar. Hey! So there you go. He is a Rhodes Scholar. I don't think that, and I'm sure that's why Biden appointed him transportation secretary. Pete Buttigieg, he's a Rhodes Scholar, so he's probably really good with roads. Yeah. Anyway, so so there you go. All right, let's a couple other things that popped up on the old internet, and I don't know if this is necessarily. Wait, what happened to the one? Where's the one? Some stupid shit from the weekend. So remember Sam Brinton? You know who Sam Brinton is, right? Sam Brinton was the Biden administration guy, and I use the term loosely because I don't know what his status is, so to speak, for real. Oh my God, this time's almost up. I hate this. I hate that I came so late. All right, I'll go through these last three stories anyway, because then we'll be there. So some stupidity from the weekend. Apparently, Sam Brinton's the guy who stole luggage at airports, right? He's the airport bandit and cross-dressing weirdo guy. Well, apparently, Sam Brinton is avoiding jail time for stealing women's luggage, while that guy that made the memes faces 10 years behind bars. Yes, I'm pretty sure that this guy, this serial luggage thief, is not going to get any prison time. Nearly 80% of Americans believe there's a two-tier justice system. And this week's courtroom episodes only validate the public's perception. On Friday, President Joe Biden's allegedly non-binary nuclear waste expert, Sam Brinton, was sentenced in a grand larceny case over stealing women's luggage from U.S. airports. Police say Brinton stole a bag from Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas, with an estimated worth of around $3,670. Authorities also charged Brinton with stealing luggage at a second airport in Minneapolis, Minnesota, my town of domicile. The former Energy Department official took a plea deal over the Las Vegas bag theft Friday, agreeing to pay a $3,670 fine to the victim and a $500 criminal fee. No jail time required. The Minnesota theft remains an open case, with the next hearing scheduled for Monday, according to Fox News. Contrast Brinton's slap on the wrist to a pro-Trump meme creator convicted of illegal election influencing last month. That's going to the Supreme Court, I guarantee it. Douglas McKay faces 10 years behind bars over a 2016 post mocking how low Democrats want to set barriers to the ballot box. Save time avoiding. Okay, so that's the meme. So anyway, so this guy, this person, this human, male, adult person, is not getting any jail time for the Las Vegas. We'll see what happens in Minneapolis. I got a feeling, though, Minneapolis is so super duper duper super extra special trans and non-binary and all that friendly that he'll walk for that one too. Probably won't even have to pay a fine in Minneapolis. He'll have a 6 months probation and can leave the state anytime he wants. So who knows? Anyway, real quick, thank you, Rachel Madhouse Dildo, for sponsoring the show. And Rachel Madhouse Dildo, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Dropping a deuce in the tip jar, which I will gladly clean up. Says this is the mind-rotting effect of the woke on the minds of otherwise intelligent people. Here's rich white Fagette speaking for the rich black tax cheater, advocating for the plight of poor people of color while saying colored people can't drive. Right? Yeah, yes, I'm going to give you that one. So there you go. Congratulations. Thank you, Rachel Madhouse Dildo. Okay. So anyway, that weirdo's not going to jail. Let's see. What else do I have here? Oh, now, you know those Pentagon leaks, the Pentagon stuff that they've been talking about? Well, what's interesting about the reaction of the Biden administration to the Pentagon leaks, all that stuff, is now over the weekend, they've said that the administration is now considering increasing social media surveillance after the Pentagon leaks. Gee, this is just what we need. Fucking clowns. The Biden administration is considering using an intelligence failure that allowed classified Pentagon documents to circulate online unnoticed for weeks to call for broadening its surveillance of social media platforms. Well, yippee. Good morning, Unacceptable Views. The potential alteration to intelligence gathering methods comes as authorities rush to find out not only how the leak occurred, but also how to prevent similar incidents in the future. Last week, President Joe Biden and Defense Secretary Lord Austin were informed of the leak. However, it was reported that these secret documents first emerged on the Discord social media app as early as January, according to open source investigative group Bellingcat. Sounds like a bad musician, which has alleged ties to the intelligence community. Upon discovery that the documents had been available online for an extended period, the president and other officials allegedly considered ways to prevent this from happening again in the future. Oh, how are they going to do that? Well. They're going to start surveilling your social media more often. Gee, I'm pretty sure they've already been doing that since they spent, as we found out in the Twitter files, they've been telling social media companies what to censor and what not to censor for at least a few years now, right? So, yippee. The intelligence community is reportedly wrestling with how to scan platforms like Discord for relevant content to prevent similar leaks in the future. Oh, I'm sure that is the only thing that they will be scanning Discord and other social media sites for, right? They're only going to look for sensitive intelligence information, right? Yeah. Hold your cover your buttholes, okay? Just cover your buttholes because they're about to jump right in them. Anyway, a defector from North Korea says that U.S. is becoming more like North Korea. This is another one. Yeonmi Park escaped the oppressed, poverty-stricken nightmare of North Korea and sex slavery in China to reach freedom and success in America. But Park is worried about what the woke ideology and authoritarian enforcement of wokeness are doing to America. If radical leftism's current progress isn't stopped, according to Park, America will become more like North Korea all the time. I think she's
North Korea, the power is so concentrated. It's in the hand of one man, Kim Jong-un, and then few guys around in the Communist Party. America is becoming more like that every day. There are a few people in America, in Washington, D.C., in New York, in the coastal cities, in cosmopolitan New York, these elites, they decide what we are allowed to talk, what we are allowed to feel, what women and men is. They are redefining all these words for us.
Just like North Korea. So anyway, there's more in this article, but She's not the first immigrant to sound this alarm. There's a couple Chinese immigrants that I follow on, or one that I follow on Twitter in particular. She talks about this all the time, how this is coming more and more like China every day. There's a couple of African people who talk about that too, how, you know, they've come from repressive regimes and so on. So yeah, it's not looking good. Let's see. Let me just do these other two real quick, and then we're going to get out of here. Morgan Freeman, again. Now, I've heard Morgan Freeman say this before, but apparently he's called Black History Month in African-American terms as an insult. But I don't know what this is from. This is on the Sunday Times. I mean, I wasn't sure if he'd changed his mind. By the way, good morning, Rusty Shack, Cannibalistic Wizard. Nice to see you guys in the chat. Morgan Freeman slammed the terms Black History Month and African American on Saturday, claiming that both terms were an insult. The 85-year-old actor told the Sunday Times the annual observance, which takes place every February, recognizes the cultural achievement of Black people has a negative connotation to him and that delegates his culture to just 4 weeks. I don't do a good Morgan Freeman. Two things I can't say publicly that I do not like. You're going to regulate my history to a month? Anyway, also, African American is an insult. I don't subscribe to that title. Black people have had different titles all the way back to the N-word, and I do not know how these things get such a grip, but everyone uses African American. What does it really mean? Okay, so that's my best Morgan Freeman. Last year, Freeman was slammed for narrating a FIFA World Cup opening segment titled The Calling at Al Bayt Stadium in Doha amid ongoing allegations of human rights abuse in the Middle East. We gather here as one big tribe, and Earth is the tent we all live in, the Oscar winner told the crowd. So anyway, he's been saying this for a long time, and there you go. So, all right, let's move on. I got two things. This one's an article on 19 times the Democrats and the DOJ deliberately politicized law enforcement. I'm not going to go through the details of all of these, but I will just go through the list real quick, and you can probably nod your head yes or no for each one of them. The infiltration of Catholic parishes. House Republican Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan subpoenaed FBI Director Christopher Wray on Tuesday after a whistleblower revealed the agency is targeting Catholic parishes. In February, the former Special Agent Kyle Sefrin revealed that the FBI's Richmond Division would like to protect Virginians from the threat of white supremacy. What? That's racist! No, only 19. Well, these 19. It's not only 19. This is just 19 times that they wanted to point out that are fairly recent. Anyway, also, too, the FBI targeted parents for domestic terrorism. We've talked about that more than once. Crossfire Hurricane. The campaign to impeach former President Donald Trump. Yeah, that was kind of some weaponized investigations. Hillary's emails. Oh, they just said, well, no one would prosecute for that. When Comey came out with a list of all the classified information she had on that server and said, well, you know, nobody would prosecute that. What? Wait, what? Classified special access programming, top secret, all kinds of stuff on that server, but they were not going to prosecute her. Aren't they talking about prosecuting a guy who actually was the president who had that stuff? Huh? Okay. FBI raids Mar-a-Lago. DOJ investigates the 2024 GOP frontrunner. That'd be Donald Trump. DOJ fuels January 6th conspiracies. The FBI pressured Twitter to censor Hunter Biden laptop. They give you details of all these. FBI pressured Facebook to censor Hunter Biden laptop stories. DOJ drags feet on Hunter Biden investigations. It's kind of 3 in 1 there. DOJ jails the meme creator. Yes, what's his name? He went by Ricky Vaughn. They got him in jail and probably looking at 10 years in prison for a meme. I think that's going to be appealed to higher courts for sure. DOJ cracks down on pro-life activists. Yeah, remember the guy they sent to his house? Like 20 agents with those what? Those AR-15s, those weapons of war, they said, and pointed them at his kids. FBI connects common internet slang with violent extremism. Yeah, they said that words such as based and red pill, popularized by the Matrix, are identified by the FBI as markers of, quote, involuntary celibate violent extremism, or racially or ethnically motivated violent extremism. So if you use based or red pill, they have a whole bunch of words. If you use those words, they're going to be looking at your ass. Well, not your ass, but you know what I mean. Inflating extremism in their reports, the FBI calls extremist shooter targeting GOP baseball practice suicide by cop. No. He went after some Republicans. He said, who are those practicing there? Who that and who that? And those are Republicans? Oh, I'm going to go shoot them motherfuckers. And they're calling it was suicide by cop? Yeah, no, it wasn't. And then they cover up anti-Semitism in their own, what is this? FBI claimed the attack on synagogue last year by 44-year-old Malik Faisal Akram had nothing to do with targeting Jews. Oh my gosh. And then he did it to demand the release of Ayafia Siddiqui, a Pakistani national, also known as Lady Al-Qaeda. Oh, I'm sure she's special. The Gretchen Whitmer plot, which was loaded with feds, taking down Representative Jeff Fortenberry. What? Oh, they imprisoned Nebraska Republican Representative Jeff Fortenberry stepped down from the House of Representatives last year after federal prosecutors successfully secured a conviction. The case was classic entrapment. The saga began in 2019 when a pair of FBI agents showed up at Fortenberry's Nebraska residence, ostensibly over a national security issue, not a criminal probe. Prosecutors convicted Fortenberry of scheming to conceal material facts from federal officials and 2 false statements. One false statement was attributed to Fortenberry not recognizing a person whose 10-year-old picture was presented to him by agents on their trip to his home. Oh my God, what? That was one of the false statements. In July 2019, the FBI reportedly lied to Fortenberry and his attorney, former Representative Trey Gowdy, claiming Fortenberry was not under criminal investigation when he was. And then the FBI went on offense against Kyle Rittenhouse. So you can read the details of all those cases. Let's finish up, though. I have not seen this video, but it says it's a must-see video. Now, I don't know how long it is, but I don't care. I'm going to watch it. Apparently, if you're not subscribed to Awaken with JP, this dude's hilarious. He does lots of really funny videos. Awaken with JP lays out with humor. Let me put it on the left here so you can see it. The horrifying reality that could be coming our way if this is passed. The Restrict Act. By the way, if you're one of those people who does this stuff and you live in the United States, call your congressman, call your senator, call anybody who'll listen and tell them to fuck this bullshit Restrict Act. Okay, this is just another Patriot Act, but against you for whatever you do on social media. No Restrict Act. I don't care about TikTok. No Restrict. Look, you can tell people as much you want. TikTok is a Chinese spyware, whatever, and they can decide if they want to use TikTok or not. I don't care. I don't have TikTok on any of my devices. My wife does have TikTok on her phone. I don't care. There's nothing the Chinese are going to give my wife that's going to, give a shit about what American national security. But that should be your choice. If you want to, because everyone else spies on you too. Hell, the government spies on you with your phones. So who cares if the Chinese spy on you with your phones? But anyway, the Restrict Act is just a way for them to weasel their way into more of your life and to tell them fuckers to fuck off. But anyway, let's just watch JP talking about the Restrict Act, and we'll just get a good
The Restrict Act, aka TikTok ban, is upon us. It doesn't mention TikTok once, but it does allow unelected officials in the Biden administration to throw you in prison for just about anything that you're already doing.
So, very important. It's supposedly there to ban TikTok, right? The Restrict Act does not mention TikTok at all.
Bill written with ill-defined broad strokes helps the totalitarianism settle in nicely while you think it's working in your best interest.
And I'll leave the link in
Good evening,
in the tab
and
today.
Welcome to the first day of the rest of your totalitarian-controlled, freedomless, godless lives. I'm JP Sears, and these are lies you can trust.
JP Sears is hilarious.
For a while, we've been desperate to take your freedom from you for your own good. COVID got the ball rolling. Our climate crisis theater has been a
crisis. Yes, see,
on
Pete Buttigieg. This is a crisis too, because people are dying on the highways, even though it's less than 10 years ago, and it's a crisis that they can. Here's what they're going to do. By the way, I know this is an aside, but I'm assuming that crisis in the roads and shit is they're going to try to restrict how much you can drive. Like the 15-minute cities idea. Have you heard of that? We'll talk about that sometime. But I bet that's what it is. All right, let's keep going because I got to get out of here.
Unfortunately, not enough people are falling for it. But good news, we think we got you this time with the Restrict Bill.
Yes.
Introduced by Senators John Thune and Mark Warner.
And John Thune can kiss my ass. John Warner can kiss my... Or are they both... Or Mark Warner, he can kiss my ass too.
Great comrades they are. What does this bill that everyone's talking about mean for you, your freedom of speech,
cover your buttholes,
to stay out of prison with a regime that's so power hungry?
Oh, yeah, like if you act something about if you use a VPN to watch like something else, and they can come after your ass. Cover your buttholes.
That it seems eager to remove all dissenters. And what are the finer details that the Restrict Act actually says that definitely shouldn't alarm you? We'll answer all those questions and more for you tonight so you can feel the appropriate amount of terrified. Starting with, what is it? The Restrict Act is a very beneficial bill designed to protect national security.
Oh, protect national security, kind of like the Patriot
Act look like child's play.
Oh, there he goes.
Now, at its core, national security is about protecting the freedoms of U.S. citizens. And luckily, this eerily, vaguely written bill has identified Americans' freedom, specifically freedom of speech, to be the biggest existential threat to national security.
Yes! Because the FBI sees everything you say as a threat, especially if you say words like, excuse me, I'll say it. YouTube, don't listen. Red pill. I'm not an incel, YouTube. I'm not an incel, FBI. I'm married. I'm happily married. I got kids, grandkids, and all that. Don't come after me.
So when you do the math, that means that taking away Americans' freedom is a necessary measure to protect the freedoms that Americans love and cherish. It's brilliant. Now we'll get into some of the finer details.
We'll do one, and I got to get out of here.
But first,
no,
let's address the TikTok issue
that
will help rally your support for something that works against you in a very favorable way. As we're now willing to admit, TikTok is an app-based software that allows the Chinese Communist Party to spy on Americans.
Oh, come on. Nobody else can do that. And nobody else does that.
IQs. And the Restrict Act, also called the TikTok Ban Bill, even though it doesn't mention TikTok anywhere in it, would ban TikTok in the U.S., thus protecting citizens from a Communist Party spying on them by having another Communist Party spying on them instead and then throwing them in prison. And that sounds like an improvement to me. Now, for those of you who don't have your eyes glazed over and aren't saying, "That sounds good, please protect me," and are accidentally thinking instead, let's address your concerns. You might be wondering, if a bill was truly just about banning TikTok, what would that bill look like?
It would be ban TikTok. I would guess ban TikTok. Oh, wait. Let's see what the answer is.
Starters, it might specifically mention TikTok. The Restrict Act doesn't. And the entire bill might look something like this. Using TikTok is prohibited. And if that's
See? I told you. I haven't seen this. This is the first time I've seen it. I knew. If you want to ban TikTok, TikTok is no longer available in the United States of America. That'd be the bill. That's it. Now you can justify it in the arguments. And that's all. That's all you need. But no.
What you think, pardon the thought policing, but you're wrong. Because the Restrict Act is countless pages written in broad strokes that hands power over you to the government. For example, based on what the bill says, the Biden administration would regulate certain transactions between persons in the U.S. and foreign adversaries.
What? Why is that in the Restrict Act? That has nothing to do with TikTok. Does it?
Brilliant legal language written so vaguely that you might be asking, what exactly does that mean? Well, the point is that it's written so vaguely that they get to decide it means whatever they want it to mean. Let's specifically consider that it regulates certain transactions between persons in the U.S. and foreign adversaries.
What is a foreign adversary, by the way? Technically, like, you know how, like, I mean, I don't know if Ukraine was a foreign adversary at one time or not. Were they? I suppose when they were part of under the Soviet Union, they were. But I mean, they list Russia as a foreign adversary. I mean, yeah, I suppose, and China, and what else? What other foreign adversaries? I mean, well, here, let's see what he says.
Well, what transactions? Answer: any communication on the internet. Well, who gets to decide who's a foreign adversary? Answer: Biden's Secretary of Commerce and the Director of National Intelligence. Both are unelected bureaucrats, so luckily you have no control in the matter.
All right. You get the point. The rest of the video is going to be in the links. It'll be linked in the links that I do at the end of the show, which I will update during the outro. I'll put a copy of it in the chat, and we'll be done because I got to go. But anyway, guys, thanks for joining me today. Even though it was a late start show, I appreciate you dropping in. Definitely watch the rest of that video. I'm going to, for sure. It'll be in the, oh wait, let me put the link here. I'll put the YouTube link just for the video to it instead of just the article. So you can, okay, stop, pause. There we go. All right. So you can watch just the video too, but, that's it, guys. I gotta go. Thanks for joining me. Shut up! Thank you. Thank you for joining me today in the Morning Live. I do have a video coming out at noon, one of those short videos, and then noon my time, which would be 1 o'clock Eastern, and so on and so forth. Check that out. And also, if you see those videos, do me a favor, share them. I'm really gonna focus on getting some other content out besides my live streams, and but it helps if you guys all jump on too. So do that. I'll see you when the sun comes up tomorrow. Thanks for joining me today on the Morning Live. I got to go. My name's Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.